All right, let's talk about something in Google's Search Console that I know causes a lot of people to freak out a little bit, the page with redirect report. It sounds super technical, right? But by the end of this, you're going to see it's less of an error and more of, well, a conversation with Google. Let's dive in. So you log into Search Console, you're checking on your site's health, and bam, you see this. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of pages affected, and your heart kind of drops, right? You start thinking, is my site broken? Is Google mad at me? Let's figure out what's really going on here. Okay, first things first. Deep breath. Do not panic. This is not an error in the way you might think. It's not like a 404 page not found. This is more like a friendly note from Google, just an FYI. It's simply Google giving you some information so you can understand how it sees your website. To really get this, think of it like setting up mail forwarding when you move. You don't tell the post office your old address is an error, right? No, you just give them a clear instruction. Hey, if any mail shows up at my old place, please send it to my new address. In this scenario, Google is just the mail carrier, politely letting you know, hey, got your forwarding notice, and I delivered the mail to the right spot.
So, here's what's happening in a nutshell. The Googlebot tries to visit URL A on your site, but URL A immediately says, whoa, hold on, I've moved, the party's over at URL B now. And Google just says, okay, cool, got it, follows the new path, and makes a little note to tell you about that detour it took. That's literally all this report is.
All right, so we're all calm now, right? Good. Now, how do we actually start making sense of this potentially massive list of URLs? The key here is not to get overwhelmed. We just need to focus on the pages that actually matter. Okay, this is the most important first step, so listen up. When you open the report, it defaults to showing all known pages. You need to click that filter and change it to all submitted pages. This one single click is a game changer. It filters the list down to only the URLs that are in your sitemap, the pages you explicitly told Google were important. Suddenly, that terrifying list of 200 issues might just shrink down to 10 or 20 things worth looking at. And yeah, this really is the key takeaway here. You don't have to stress about every single random URL Google stumbles upon. By focusing on your submitted pages, you're looking at the stuff that you've said matters most. Now, once you have that nice, short, filtered list, you'll probably find that a lot of the remaining redirects are totally normal and completely harmless. Let's go through the common ones that you can pretty much just ignore. You might see some really weird-looking URLs in your report, things that come from your page builder, like Elementor, or from your theme. These are often just little template parts, like a header or a footer. They have to exist as an item in your site's backend, but they aren't meant to be standalone pages. If they're not in your sitemap, you can absolutely 100% ignore them. Here's another super common one. Seeing a URL like yourdomain.com/home redirecting to just yourdomain.com. This happens all the time, especially with WordPress. You might create a page, call it home, and then tell WordPress to use that as your main front page. This redirect is just your website working exactly as it should. Perfectly normal. And the classic trailing slash. You might see the version of a URL without a slash on the end redirecting to the version with a slash. Again, most systems like WordPress do this on purpose to keep all your URLs consistent. It's not an error, it's just your website being neat and tidy. Nothing to worry about. Okay, so we've identified all the harmless stuff and we've set it aside. Now let's get down to business and talk about the redirects that are actually worth fixing. And almost all of these are going to be caused by your own internal links. So you might be thinking, well, if the redirect works, why bother fixing it? It's a great question. And the answer is efficiency. Every redirect is an extra little hop for Google's crawler. A few don't matter, but hundreds can waste what's called your crawl budget, the amount of resources Google dedicates to your site. By cleaning them up, you're making it easier and faster for Google to understand your site. You're giving the mail carrier the direct address, which just saves a bit of time. Now, it's really important to know where these links are coming from. Some are internal, they're on your own site and you have total control to fix them. Others are external, they're on some other website linking to you. You can't control those. So for external links, the redirect is your best friend. It's doing its job perfectly. So our focus today is only on fixing the internal ones we control. So what are we looking for? Honestly, it's usually really simple stuff. A common one is just a typo in a link, like you spelled contact without the T, or maybe you updated a blog post's URL a while back to make it better, but there's still an old link on another page pointing to the old version. These are the easy fixes, the low-hanging fruit. And the best part, Google literally tells you where to find the bad link. It's so easy. In Search Console, you just inspect the redirecting URL, scroll down to the discovery section, and it will show you the referring page.
That's it. That's the exact page on your site that has the old link. You just go to that page, find the link, update it, and boom, problem solved. Awesome. So now you know what to fix and how to fix it. Let's just wrap this all up with a couple of key best practices for managing your redirects, for the long-term health of your site. This one is huge. Whenever you permanently change a URL, you have to use a 301 redirect. That number, 301, is just a code that tells search engines, hey, this move is permanent. All the ranking power, all the authority that old page had, please pass it over to this new one. It's the right way to do it. So, you set up that permanent 301 redirect. How long do you actually need to keep it active? Forever? Well, Google actually gives us a pretty clear answer on this one. Yep, at least 1 year. This gives Google's crawler plenty of time to go out, find all the links across the entire internet that might be pointing to your old URL, process that permanent change, and transfer all that value over to your new page. After a year, Google's index should be fully updated, and that redirect has done its job. So let's boil this all down into a quick little checklist. Number 1, don't panic. It's just an FYI. 2, always filter by submitted pages first. 3, learn to spot the harmless redirects from things like plugins or slashes and just ignore them. 4, use that inspection tool to find and fix your own internal misspellings or old links. And 5, keep your important 301 redirects up and running for at least a year. So in the end, you see, the page with redirect report wasn't really a scary error at all. It was just a conversation. And it kind of makes you wonder what other so-called errors in our reports are actually just Google trying to talk to us, trying to help us make our websites better. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.